Hello and welcome to episode 73 of the Fish Tanks. This is going to be the last episode ever in Loughborough as I'm going home back to Sheffield for the summer in a few days' time. So very sad day, I suppose. I mean, especially as this building's actually going to close down. There's going to be no more students in it next year. Apparently it's going to be used for office blocks instead. So this building's been open 75 years, you know. Obviously the last 2 years it's had the grace of the Fish Tank being recorded in it, but many other more memorable things have happened in it. So 73, interesting number. Well, actually no, it's not. That's a complete lie. There's nothing that interesting about it. I tried to find out interesting things about 73. There wasn't much other than the fact that the Challenger rocket that crashed just after takeoff in whatever year it was only in the air for 73 seconds. So there you go. And as it exploded mid-air, all 7 passengers on board died. So, or all 7 astronauts, not necessarily passengers. They went off on their holidays anyway. So there you go. I suppose a lot of people made a joke at the time saying NASA stands for needing another 7 astronauts, but that's not very nice, so I'm not going to make that joke. So anyway, it's time for Apology of the Week. And on last week's show, I mistakenly said that the Beatles song Strawberry Fields was named after a place in New York, which is wrong. It's actually, a place in New York is actually named after the Beatles song, which I knew. I was just testing you out. Just making sure you're aware of this and picked up on the error. And well done to one person who pointed that one out. So good on you. Strawberry Fields is actually what would have actually been on the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club album, but it was decided to be left off because it had already been released as a single. And instead, I think it was on the Magical Mystery Tour album. So I think Strawberry Fields is possibly my favourite Beatles song ever. So if that was on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club's band's album, then that would have probably been making the best album in the world even better, which would have been quite good. Talking about good albums, Coldplay's latest album, album number 4, Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends, is still a very good album, despite what some people say. So I'd encourage everyone to go and buy it. So there you go. So what's been going on this week? Well, I keep getting told that I look like a Big Brother contestant. Apparently someone called Luke, whoever he is on Big Brother, don't know much about this person, so if you think the likeness is there, then let me know. Something to look forward to. Yeah, I don't know much about him. I know he used to be a ring. His job's to be a ring announcer at these wrestling things, because you know, like the type that used to be on ITV, sort of on a Saturday night entertainment. Actually, that used to bring in quite a lot of advertising revenue for ITV apparently, because ITV said that when they got rid of the wrestling, they were badly hurt from the loss of advertising revenue. Of course, they weren't actually badly hurt; they were just pretending, presumably, as it is wrestling. So, what else has been going on? Well, Gordon Brown has been seeing George Bush. Strange how these 2 major world leaders both have the same initials of GB. There you go. Yeah, obviously, Gordon Brown said to George Bush, "It's great to meet you because I know you're going to be leaving office soon." George Bush said the same thing to Gordon Brown, obviously. But Gordon Brown's been in a lot of trouble over ministers losing important files on trains. I mean, I was thinking, like, what kind of idiot would do something like that? To be honest, I'd probably do something like that. But then I thought, actually, no. I've travelled on trains like back and forth to Sheffield, between Sheffield and Loughborough quite a lot over the last couple of years. But I don't think I've ever left anything on a train. And certainly there's nothing very important that I would leave on a train anyway. And yet, like, an important document about sort of the weaknesses of Al-Qaeda, which apparently is the people skills, is and also a lot of the people who work for Al-Qaeda are very, very depressed, some even suicidal, have been left on trains. So I'm not sure why that happens, but there you go. What else has been in the news? Prenuptial agreements have been in the news quite a bit. Apparently, it's can be quite effective. It can have quite a lot of. It can have a very negative effect on a marriage, although obviously not quite as much of a negative effect as a divorce can. There you go. So apparently they're quite popular in America, but people are now actually saying that they should be incorporated into marriages in the UK more often. So when you think about Paul McCartney, perhaps if he'd have got Heather Mills to sign a prenuptial agreement before he went down on one knee, might have been a bit better. But there you go. So anyway, it's time for Celebometer now. And who would I like on the show? Well, I quite like Colleen McLaughlin and the person she's married. You know, the bloke who plays Shrek in the films, Wayne Rooney. That's the one. Like them on the show to discuss the marriage. Could be interesting. If not slightly monosyllabic. Is that right? Yeah. think it is. I think that's the right word. Yeah, they can come on and talk about what they've been doing during the summer. Now Wayne's not playing for England at the moment. Because I've missed England not being in the Euro 2008 tournament. Because when there's a major tournament on, I absolutely love it. I get like a big wall chart out. In the 2006 World Cup, I actually called my wall chart Theo Wall Chart. Not the best joke in the world, but there you go. And record down all the results and everything. France, quite amusingly, been knocked out of the tournament. It's quite funny. Apparently they had a very bad coach and also a very bad coach driver. If anyone saw the footage of France's coach crashing on the way out of the stadium, which was rather amusing. Also, it's actually been Father's Day last week, so happy Father's Day to my dad if he's watching this. So there you go. Also noticeable because Ulrika Johnson obviously had to build a new car park for all the dads coming in to visit the kids that she's got. So anyway, it's time for headline of the week, which this week comes from a local parish news guide, and it says, Saturday the 31st of May, theatre show called The Show Must Go On. This concert has been cancelled. So obviously it mustn't go on, must go off, or just not about at all. So slightly strange, but there you go. Ironic that a show with such a name will get cancelled, but there you are. And quote of the week this week comes from Lawrence Dallaglio, one of the greatest rugby players this country's ever produced. It says, the change rooms are full of ecstasy and everyone's happy. So not surprised, that's I think the intended effect of the drug. It's, I suppose it's. I'm not sure whether it's better to have a rugby change room full of ecstasy or to have 4 of the England players being questioned by New Zealand police. Not fully sure. There you go. So anyway, that's it from Loughborough. So as the housewife of time adjusts her lipstick in the mirror of destiny, only to see a cyclist bounce off the bonnet, it's time to say goodbye from Loughborough. So it's been a very good 2 years here. I've really enjoyed it. I know you enjoyed watching the Fish Tank from Loughborough, but the Fish Tank will be back next week from Sheffield, so I shall see you there. And goodbye, and thank you very much for watching.